Hey guys, welcome back. This particular video is one of demand based video, and this was demanded by Abhishek Gupta. So Abhishek, this particular video is for you especially and many of the other regular visitors to my channel who have requested for a live demo for Google Spreadsheets with MuleSoft. So this particular video, it will be a bit lengthy one, but I will try to include each and every aspect of connecting Google Spreadsheets with MuleSoft Anypoint Studio flows. So as you can see, uh, to start with, first of all you need to create a new project, which you can create like this: new and Mule project. I'm just giving you an example, and this is very basic around it. So just put, you can put let's say test. You have to select the Mule runtime, and then you have to click on finish. That's it. So once it is being available, you will get a very plain or vanilla framework for the project. And after that, the next thing will be you have to look out for Google Sheets. So how to check for that? Just click on search in Exchange, and within this particular field area you have to put spreadsheet and hit enter. So you will see this Google Sheet connector is there. Click on this add button. It will come on to the right hand side under the selected modules, and within the version you have to select the appropriate version. I'm selecting this 117 to be the latest one, but according to your users you can select any of these. Most of the functionality will remain same, and I am expecting it will change with 2.0 version onwards as a major version update. For this particular use case, I am using Anypoint Studio 7.11.1. you can see from here 7.11.1, and the Mule runtime will be 4.4.0. Now once this Google Sheet connector is available, now you can see the set of available operations are like, to start with, get spreadsheet properties, get spreadsheet values, then trigger based, like on new row, on new spreadsheet. If you want to update spreadsheet values, update means it will overwrite, and append if you want to add on the existing value itself. And the last one is to trigger anything based on a updated row. We will try to cover all of these things. And the last one is to unauthorized. So as you can see, it will delete the access token information for the resource owner ID. So this unauthorized I will not show, because otherwise it will unauthorize the entire resource owner ID, or you can say the OAuth dance mechanism. So but this is being used to unauthorize the entire access token, which is being retrieved as a part of OAuth 2 dance. So once it is being done, I will take you back to the Google console. So this is the Google console, as you can see, and you have to just click on the top of here, and you have to click on new project. Okay, you can put the name of your project, and with location, or you can see the organization as optional. I have already done this, so I will not create a new one. Let me show you. This is the sample project which I have created. Go to the library section of it and search for spreadsheet. So here you can see the spreadsheet API. Just click on this. Since I have already enabled it, and if it is not enabled, it will come up like this. If you want to enable the API, just click on that and it will be enabled. Now the next thing is try this API. So try this API is quite similar what we have in our the RAML design, or you can say the API design within Anypoint platform. So if you click on try this API, it will open up a page, and you can see there are 4 different categories of REST resources: spreadsheet, developer metadata, sheets, and its values. So there are 4 different categories in short. And if you click on this and click on get, this is a get method, and what it will do, it will look out for a spreadsheet and it will give out the result based on this particular method. Okay, similarly, just one thing, if you make a note of this sheet.googleapis.com v for spreadsheets and try to compare it with this one, just hover over it. Spreadsheet is spreadsheet ID. So you can see it is indeed taking the similar endpoints. So this is just to make a similarity between the 2 points with respect to Anypoint Studio connector and the console. Okay, it also gives you the different ways to set the things. You can check if you put the spreadsheet ID, and if you can select only the Google Auth 2, which we are going to try it in Anypoint Studio as well, and it will, you can click on execute, it will give you the result just below it. But this particular video is more about how we can integrate Sheets API within Anypoint Studio. Okay, now the next thing, having said that, return back to the Google Sheets API, and I am assuming the API is enabled. You have to go back and one second, you have to go back to Google GCP platform, and one second, so credentials. So here you can see I have created a OAuth 2 client ID for Google Spreadsheet project. So what you have to do, you have to just click on this create credentials and select this OAuth client ID, and after that it will start asking you a lot many things. Okay, so let me quickly show you how to configure it. You have to select the application type as web application. You can put the web application name as per your requirement. The main thing will be the authorized redirect URIs. You have to click here and you can put to, like, this is the postman by default, but you can put your local host 8081 OAuth 2 callback, which I am using quite frequently. So let me show you the one which I have created. Once it is being done, you have to click on create and it will start asking more questions about it. Okay, so let me show you the one which I have created. So many people will say like, Ankur, you are showing the client ID, client secret. Yes, this is just for the demonstration purpose, and as soon as this particular use case gets uploaded on YouTube, this particular project of GCP will no longer be available. So it will be done, or I can do the reset secret as well. So it's all safe. So as I mentioned, authorized redirect URIs, you have to mention something like this, and you have to click on save. Okay, this is pretty much of it, but you have to click on OAuth consent screen. It will go to the let me open it. Yeah, so if I click, I'm just showing you the one which will appear quite similar when you're creating for the first time. Click on this edit app. You can mention the app name, the support email ID, developer contact information, save and continue, and it will not allow me until I click on save and continue. For the scope, I have used majority of the things for Google Sheets, and after that there is a test user. For test user, I have put down the same email ID, and finally this is the summary out of it. Okay, and once it is being done, it will give you the option to save in the form of back to dashboard. So you can click over here and publish app. This is going to take time because it will go for Google to approve all these settings, assuming you are uploading the application logo as well and all the other things. So this is pretty much of it what we require for this particular setup. Important thing here to note is go to the credentials, click on OAuth to client ID hyperlink and download JSON, or there is the option to copy paste client ID and client secret by simply selecting these values. Okay, and save it somewhere. That's it. So we are done pretty much from the Google Spreadsheet console window from here. So I will minimize it and go back to the Anypoint Studio. So as a part of this particular use case, I have created couple of flows, as you can see over here. The very first one is about spreadsheet properties, spreadsheet values. So once you set up the Google Sheet connector within your workspace, it will give you all these options. So what you need to do is just drag and drop the particular operation onto your canvas, and then you have to start configuring it. Pretty much simple. Okay, so now I will show you the configuration of Google Sheet this particular connector configuration. You have to just click on this plus sign and it will ask you to configure the Google Sheet connector configuration. Let me show you the configuration here. So consumer key, this will be the client ID, secret will be the client secret, authorization, access token URL and scope, this will be pre-populated, no need to change anything. After that, within the OAuth callback configuration, this is the same as that of OAuth redirect URI, which we have seen over here. This one, authorized redirect URI. This is used for OAuth dance as well to set up the communication between GCP and Anypoint Studio flow. Callback path is /OAuth to callback, that is this path, and authorize, it will help for creating the access token. With an optional thing, you can set up the object store as well if you require, but within this particular use case I am not using it. And this is the generic Google Sheet configuration connector, which I have used for all the flows. Depending on your use case environments, you can have the multiple connectors. So spreadsheet properties, it will give you some details about the spreadsheet which you have mentioned over here, the spreadsheet ID, and it will give you the value of the spreadsheet. I am using the same spreadsheet again. I will show you the spreadsheet again within the browser as well. So let me first run this particular flow. Let me open the Postman as well. So this is for the spreadsheet, get spreadsheet values. This is the original one. Okay, so let's go back and I will clean up the console. I will check what is the action which I have provided. List drive files. So list drive files, I will just click on the send button, and you can see it is returning me some of the values. So let me go back to the console and try to explain the things. Let's see the output of this get spreadsheet properties, because I have mentioned this in as a part of this logger. So as a part of this particular logger, you can see access token, resource owner. This is all it is taken. It will attempt for refresh token and retry, so it is already taken care of that. For the first time, you have to open your browser and you have to type http localhost and authorize, something like that, and it will ask for the permissions, and you have to provide the permissions accordingly. But now I am talking about this logger. So as you can see, this is the ID of the spreadsheet ID, and this is the title of the spreadsheet. I will show you the actual one as well in the browser. I am just skimming through the log, and this is the spreadsheet URL. So just copy this particular URL, and then we will see what is already present over here. So this is the name of this particular spreadsheet. You can match it with the title, Postman spreadsheet, and after that it goes for the get spreadsheet values for the sheet 1, that is this one, sheet 1, and it will try to capture all these values, dark web till Saudi. Okay, so let me show you dark web, Yahoo, 222 it is coming in the array format. Okay, then 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6, then 4 5 6 separate, 4 5 6 separate, then the separate entities of these countries starting from Ukraine till Saudi, Okay, so this is how it is capturing all these particular details. Along with this, you can see the range and major dimensions. Major dimension could be the rows, it could be columns, or unspecified. I will explain this in the rest of the operations as well in more detail. So this was about the very first get spreadsheet properties and get spreadsheet values. This is simply the get operations. The next one is to append. So append is just, there's some existing details are there, and we are adding some more details as well on that particular sheet. So that is the idea, we are not going to overwrite it. Okay, so I have directly clicked on this particular thing, but let me show you the configuration. The action is append, then there is a simple logger which will show you the payload, then there is a transform message, and it will extract the same format which is required in this particular connector, major dimension, values and range. The next is the logger, which is specify like what is the specified range, value input, what is the mode of value input, and the target spreadsheet ID. Yes, and finally it will hit the endpoint, and we are going to log the result as well. So it look out for spreadsheet ID, then there is a payload range, then value input option, and the payload. So if you see this particular transform message, there are a couple of things which I have mentioned. So within the variable, you can see I have put down the entire payload, whereas in the payload I have reconstructed the things. This is just a way of manipulation you can use as per your design as well. Let me again check the endpoint of append. This is /append only. So let me check over here, and I will go to the body. Just want to put something different. Trying to put green land. Okay, range is 813. So let me check whether 813, instead of 813, let's put on A15. Okay, ETR74, this is the same spreadsheet ID which I am mentioning. Insert the rows, and let's hit on the send button. So it shows spreadsheet ID is being updated, this A15 is being updated with one row, one column and one cell. So let's go back here and you can see the green line is already printed. Okay, if I show you the console as well, that is the log part of it, it is going to put the same details. Spreadsheet range, value input as insert rows, and the target spreadsheet name. So this was about the append spreadsheet values. The next one is for update spreadsheet values. So within update, what it means, like the existing value will be overwritten, quite similar to what we have done in append part of it. I will just directly go to the transform message. So as you can see, I'm going to update A3B3 with let's say instead of triple to what I can put 3 to 1 and let's put 000. Rest of the things you can look out for this particular format of the message or of this particular payload from the API documentation. You have to just supply the spreadsheet ID and the values and the major dimension along with the range. Value input option I have put down as the user entered, so that user is going to enter the values. Basically idea behind is that. And within logger I am just putting the spreadsheet name and the range. Within the transform I have used couple of variables, I guess. Within the message, the spreadsheet ID is being captured, and within the variable range, the range of the data which we are going to update, it is being captured. And finally this is being used as a spreadsheet ID, range and the payload. Let me again show you the payload. So this is the format which we have used. Okay, you can cross check this using the Google Console API Explorer as well. It will give you the first hand understanding of the same. So this is update spreadsheet values. Let me save the project because we have made some changes. So it will refresh, it will restart the application once again. In the meanwhile I will look out for the values, update spreadsheet values. So it could be a post method, but as you can see within the transform message I have hard coded it, so it doesn't matter much. Let's see if it is up and running, and let's make a hit from here. So it shows A3B3 is being updated with 2 columns because we have 2 different values for it. Okay, it is capturing the details, and I will go to the Google Spreadsheet, and you can see I have mentioned 321 and 000, right? 000 as an integer value, so it has converted into the 0, and you can, if you want to have 000, you can mention it as a string. Okay, let me show you the transform message once again, 321 and 000, and it has overwritten the previous entry. So this was about the update spreadsheet values. The next thing are for the triggering the flows based on certain conditions. So I have made it stop for now. So what I'm going to do, I will set the default settings for that and go back to the console, save it, and let me show you the configuration of this particular thing. I'm using the same Google Sheet configuration. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm just trying to put one more sheet, and we'll put something like some values. I will save it. Let's see if anything goes over here. So it shows spreadsheet is now listener. It has successfully reconnected. So one second, new spreadsheet detected. This is the message. Somehow it is not taking. I think I need to restart this particular thing, but the idea here is with the new spreadsheet it will going to trigger this one. And similarly for the updated row, whenever there is a new row which is being entered, it will trigger this particular flow as well. So let me show you the updated row as well. Here it asks for the spreadsheet and the worksheet name, and whenever there is a new row being updated, it will trigger the as it is showing row updated. Reason being, we have updated the row, this particular row, and in the configuration I have used the sheet 1, right? So if I put to, let's say, query and save it, let's go back to the console. So depending on the configuration time which you have set in this particular thing, it will wait for 1000 millisecond and it will retrigger again and again. So that's the idea behind it. See, as you can see this particular entry, and now this is showing 429 because of the rest of the triggers which are triggering as a false triggers. So let me stop it, otherwise it is going to throw the same thing again and again. But the idea here is to show, like, based on a specific action, how we can trigger the flow. This is for the new row update. If you want to update any new row and you want to trigger it, it will follow this particular section, and you can use the same Google Sheet configuration which we have configured for this entire project. And the finally is the unauthorized one. If you want to stop the entire OAuth dance or the access token mechanism which we have set for this particular spreadsheet, it will make use of this Google Sheet configuration, and optionally you can specify the resource owner ID as well. Not required, but you can do it once you are done with the session of a spreadsheet which you are using in this particular flow. So it starts with authorizing the application for a particular transaction which you are going to make on a spreadsheet, and finally when all things are done you have to clean it up and you can unauthorize, so that any false or any other unrequired changes which can be done through bypassing or looking into the client ID, client secret thing, you can unauthorize that particular access. So I hope you like this particular video and like this particular approach in which I have discussed the different operations available within Google Sheet connector. I will try to cover the other Google based connectors as well, like maybe Google Drive connector or anything. But if you have anything in your mind, like the Abhishek has messaged me some time back, Ankur, can you help me with Google Sheet update, how to make a connection to it and how we can update the values. I will try to make a live demo around it and we'll showcase it. So I hope you like this video and thanks for watching.